and general sentiment?
Well, I think it has certainly affected the markets. I think the bigger concern that's keeping people at bay is have we seen the worst?
Yeah.
And I think the science is telling us we maybe have not. But we're hopeful that things do quiet down and people can start the rebuilding process. No?
Are there some businesses that you think will be able to recover faster or even make more money out of? I mean,
Yeah,
it's so bad to say out of the tragedy.
Or see it as an opportunity. Yeah.
Well, the short term, I don't think I'm looking at like buying cleaning companies that are going to help clean up. No?
But Wilcon,
I think you look at it, Taal and Tagaytay in particular brings around 4.2 million, at least in 2018. So
To
that
the
number is
GDP.
probably higher in 19. About, let's call it 5 million tourists a year into the area. I think if you calculate, simply put 1,000 pesos per tourist, it's about 5 billion pesos a year that goes to the area. If you break that down into weeks, you're looking at like 80 million pesos a week. So how many weeks do we think,
Absolutely.
assuming that things silent down, you got to give the place maybe a month or two to get back on its feet, clean up. Now, what's the opportunity? Because, we know these types of areas tend to attract tourists. Central Luzon is a prime example. As a matter of fact, it attracts almost 5 million tourists a year as well. Happens to be another volcano there, too. No? So I think the longer term is that the places like Taal will continue to be tourist attractions, has now gone global, and maybe the recognition is more global about the area. Now, there are issues about that. I think, we have laws that, environmental laws, geohazard laws that we shouldn't be building in some of these places.
Yeah.
So we need to enforce those as well.
If you think about it, Calabarzon being a growth area and really a reliable growth area for the country, you think about regions that actually will do it. But let's talk about companies, for example. A lot of the conglomerates have property development arms that are exposed to that area. I mean, how do firms like that reposition, and how do investors reposition accordingly?
Those are the easiest, actually, Quintin. I mean, the property companies are the ones that are affected today. You have to do the cleanups. You have to think about whether you want to redevelop or not. Or it's an opportunity. People might want to sell their land now that Tagaytay prices maybe have been very expensive. So there's that opportunity. If it gets worse, the issue is not the property companies, it's the power companies. Because you have two major power plants in Batangas. You have factories in the Calabarzon and Cavite.
It's also a fuel depot, right?
20% of our livestock is in the Calabarzon.
do you think it can be done?
I mean, that is the issue if things get worse.
Yeah, fuel and gas depots are there as well. In
Fuel
Batangas
and gas,
City,
power, Shell is there, the power plants of first gen. And the question is, how do we react to these things? It's, we can't control nature, but we can certainly control.
Asserted by Congress.
The use it or lose it, to me, I think that's fair. If we're going to continue to pay taxes that are just going to be put in a savings account, to me, what for? Just give us back the money.
I mean, when you start paying that, it definitely seems painful to give that tax.
It is, and not only is it painful, but you know how of a hassle it is to do it in the airport on the day that you have to fly.
I think about that queue and friction in terms of seamless travel. That's certainly a deterrent when we're already trying to court so many tourists coming in.
And now we're finding out it's not even being spent. Why?
Stories of our lives.
So what's your comment on how the packages are looking so far, and how are they going to be implemented?
I think it's fantastic. We've always backed this as a firm. We think the country needs it, and it's putting us in a leveling the playing field. It's making our companies more competitive, not just locally, but they have to compete globally already. And if we're at a disadvantage, we'll never be able to be up to par. Challenge is always that the DOF starts with a plan and it goes into the Congress and the plan changes, right?
Exactly.
But the spirit is still the spirit of what they're trying to do is maintained, and I think that's what's important.
Well, on to